How's it going, everybody? This is the review, albeit an abbreviated episode today. I'm the newly fresh shaven Brendon Hodges, in case you haven't noticed. It's Monday morning, and I had a plan out for the episode for this week. It would have followed our usual format, starting five, couple of big discussions, trivia, game picks, top performances, the whole thing. I went against that this week because, and quick tangent here, my job requires me to be up super late. So when I get home, there's always a West Coast sporting event going on ESPN, right? And you've been seeing not the ads, but the promos and the play-by-play and color commentators have all been talking about the fact that it's Jimmy V week. And so I decided that rather than go through the motions of having a normal episode that lasts about an hour 15 minutes, that I'd keep it short and we do one thing. You wonder, he's saying we, there's only him on my screen right now. But I will be joined, albeit separately from where I'm sitting right now. A bunch of members from the CBB Review crew, whether they're writers, and I think actually they're all writers, if I'm being honest with you, whether you've seen them on this podcast or not, they're going to talk about what the name Jimmy V means to them. And that's going to be it. That's going to be all that we do today. Shorter episode, obviously, but for a week like this, it's of my opinion that the attention of college basketball fans in general should be on the fact that it's Jimmy V week and not on the games going on. Because it holds so much more weight, it's so much more important to recognize that fact. So without further ado, here is the CB Review crew on what the name Jimmy V means to them.
Jimmy V to me is community. It's where all the college basketball fans around the world come together for one cause. We see people with great rivalries, schools that hate each other, but they all can come together for this one moment just to support Jimmy V and continue to fight cancer because it's so important to find a cure. And I think Jimmy V is a great way of doing that in the sports community. And every year, it's great to see everyone come together and the impact that Jimmy V's had on the sports community and the college basketball community, especially.
The name Jimmy V to me is just the ultimate form of perseverance, just to keep going as hard as you can and for as long as you can until you physically can't anymore. Obviously, besides being one of the biggest coaches in basketball history, he's just inspiration for millions of Americans going through their own cancer diagnoses. He's an inspiration to millions.
And what Jimmy V means to me, kind of as a college basketball fan, that the speech is the first thing that comes to mind, and it came on this week before the Wednesday slate of games, setting up to watch Virginia Tech and Maryland, and I made sure I got that speech on first because to me, it's one of the most inspirational things that you can have in life, and certainly we all know someone who's battled cancer, potentially lost that fight to cancer, and so for Jimmy V and me, and that's just so inspirational that don't give up, don't ever give up is the thing that comes to mind in that speech, and just the positive attitude that Jimmy V had there, despite everything that he was facing and going through during that time. I think that's an inspiration to all of us, whether it's in sports or anything in life that we face, and especially anyone that we know, or if we have that battle with cancer, whatever that may be. So for me, it's the inspiration that we can get from that to battle through anything in our lives.
And what does Jimmy V mean to me? I mean, everybody remembers the speech. God, basketball, and the Green Bay Packers. I mean, if you need some perspective on life, you visit that on YouTube, and you'll get the perspective that you need. But for me, what Jimmy V means to me is two things. It's running around the court looking for someone to hug after the miracle 1983 run to the national championship. And it's how they got there. What is so prevalent in today's game is one, it's a three-point shot, and two, it's fouling late to put players on the line and hoping to make a comeback. And they made a bunch of comebacks to win that championship. So, great coach, great person, left us too early and left us with a indelible speech that we can all reflect upon it at times. But what he means to me are looking for someone to hug, and the way teams can come back and win, setting a blueprint for that. Thank you, Jimmy V.
So there you have it. Jimmy V. It means so many different things to so many different people. And if you haven't seen the speech he gave, I would highly recommend you go watch it, because it is fantastic and it just personifies the man that Jim Valvano was, and really still is, to a majority, if not all, of college basketball fans. So, as I said, that's what Jimmy V means to all of us here at CBV Review, and we hope you'll come back to us next week. We'll be back to our normal schedule, and we'll pick up right where we left off on the review. Take care.